Sure. It's just, will not listen, will not wake up, will not hear what I'm saying. I said I'd take calls. It's just, I want to warn people. Adam in St. Louis, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, I wanted to get your advice on something, but first I just want to say something that's interesting to me. Like, a couple years ago when I seen the movie A Scanner Darkly, like, they had, like, the characters in that movie, they went from their house to their stores, back to their house, and then, like, intersection cameras would follow their every move, and then they would have, like, Homeland Security people watching my monitors.
I consulted on that film.
Yeah, I know, you're like a street prophet or something like that.
Yeah, I'm also in the film, but I also consulted on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie, and I urge all your listeners who haven't seen it to go out and watch it. But back when I was watching it in 2006...
It's got Downey Jr. in it. It's got Keanu Reeves, Tommy. It's just got someone... My good buddy Tommy Pilato was the producer on it.
Back in 2006, I mean, I wasn't really informed that much, and I thought it was like some scientific thing. But now, like 2 years later, there's like cameras on every intersection.
And they admit they're face scanning you and tracking you with microphones, listening to you, and reading your license plate.
Yeah, and then something that I want to get your advice on is, I mean, I'm a sophomore at a four-year college for business. I'm trying to better myself to get a better life for myself and my family. But like I've seen like the last year, especially like just like the propaganda and like all the subliminals that are in the textbooks and that the professors are spitting out. Like you go in there and he talks about evolution and like robotic, like microchips, and how he's pro-world government. And then I did
But then you turn the news on and they say world government doesn't exist. Insane people talk about it. But then it's in all... They just have the North American Union government just met last week and had their parliament. And then that's admitted, but only in scholarly publications. Here, they just say doesn't exist.
Yeah, and then if you try to tell the average person about it, they're all too worried about either who they want, Mccain or Clinton for president. But, they're both... I mean, it really don't matter. I mean,
total diversion. So what do you tell your professor when he wants world government?
I give comments all the time. I gave a speech on sodium fluoride for my public speaking class, and he gave me an F on it. But I thought it was an excellent speech. I hit every point, and I mean.
Yep. Where do you go to school again?
What?
Where do you go to school again?
I go to Kansas City in Missouri.
And this guy gave you an F because you went over the scientific evidence, which it's admitted that sodium fluoride attacks the brain?
Yeah, I told him he was drinking poison, and, like, I mean, I looked up and the whole class was just, like, laughing at me. So, I mean, I continued anyway, but...
Oh, I know. They love it. I mean, thank you for the call. They love being slaves. It's all so funny. Ha, ha, ha. They'll find out real fast. You see, we're a nation of schmucks. I mean, it's true. We were the smartest, most intelligent, hardworking, most inventive people. Not just Americans saying that about Americans. The French, the British, the Russians, the Japanese, they all wrote about us. They all came here 200 years ago, 100 years ago, 50 years ago and wrote about us. But we are the children of spoiled brats. And so we're all trained just to be cynical and laugh at everything. He says I'm in danger. He says the government's corrupt. I'm just going to laugh at him. I'm just going to deny that's happening because I don't want to have to do anything about it. And, I mean, let those idiots in that class laugh at you. Look, all college is, unless it's an engineering class or something, is to train you to get into debt and train you how to submit to what they're saying and doing so that you never get out of debt, basically. And there's not even any jobs here unless it's in Homeland Security. 1/10 of college grads now are going to be Homeland Security related. So unless you're going to go be a thug, enforcer, spy master, over your local slaves, there's no point in even going to college now. Most of the colleges, in some cases, 95% of their funding and operations is owning assets and water districts and sports teams, and then only the schools, a very small percentage of it. See, the colleges aren't even colleges anymore. They're just fronts for money laundering operations. I mean, the corruption is past light years. I mean, it's so bad, it's going for infinity. They've come up with scams and frauds and things you can't even imagine. The governmental/corporate economy is thousands of times bigger than all real assets. They've created walls of tsunamis of liquid fiat currency and liquidity, and now they want to force you to sell land. They want to force the final few assets that are owned by the middle class to themselves. See, it isn't free market. It's about getting you in debt, creating an economic fiat system where your country, your corporations, everything, it's just all imploded. Just get ready. I mean, it's unspeakable.